Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Kamen Rider Ohma from the Rider Kicks Figure Legend Rider series. Now I'll be honest, this came out quite a while ago and I forgot I even had this. Kind of fell to the bottom of the box of all the stuff I review and it sat there for some time until I recently discovered it again. And yeah, so we'll be taking a look at this today. I'm actually pretty excited to take a look at this though because I always wanted a physical representation for Ohma, and I know they did it in Sodo a while ago, but I never actually got to that box or put those together. So this will be my first representation of Ohma. So here's a picture of the figure on this side. Here is a picture of the suit on this side. Not too much going on the top or bottom. On the back, you kind of have the clock hands flayed out like wings, which I always thought was kind of a cool look. And then it does show some of the other figures. Okay, so it shows 02, Cyclone Joker Extreme, Arc 0, and Arc 1. So I guess it's not as long ago as I thought. When I first saw this, I thought, you know, Ohma, when the heck did this thing come out? But I guess it's not as long ago as I thought. So hooray, I feel a little vindicated. In any case, let's go ahead, let's get this guy out of the box, and we'll take a closer look. So here he is out of the box, and he doesn't look too bad. I think a lot of this is just different color molded plastic, though. You can kind of tell where the paint is, though, because it always stops at the halfway point. So the bands here on the wrist, you can see not painted on the other side. This little bit here on the shin stops at the back. The shoulders, again, stop at the halfway point, so that's kind of a bummer. But for the most part, he looks good. It's a little wonky, though, with this like sash thing that he's got going on here. So he's got the two clock hands on his back, which are cool. I do like that. They go all the way around. So if you want to have him flare up like wings when he's doing an attack, or if you just want to have him move around like he's somehow distorting time, you can do that kind of stuff, which is neat. But this sash here, this is far too loose. It's literally just connected right here, and then the rest of it is just completely loose. I would have liked it if... I mean, I guess they had to do that so that you could get the hands all the way around, because if they kind of bolted it in place. But I mean, if they would have... They could have just attached it maybe like on the back of his... But then I guess would that not be able to... You know, I'm guessing maybe they thought articulation-wise it might hinder the torso articulation. I don't know. There's not really a great solution for it. I personally don't like this. Honestly, I could do without it. I think if he just took it completely off, I don't really think he needs it. I think he looks plenty cool without it. But in any case, typical Rider Kick figure articulation. Head is on a ball joint, but it's kind of weirdly stiff. You can get a little bit of up and down, a little bit of side to side, but he does have a high collar, so it kind of hinders the articulation anyway. You do have up and down hinge in the shoulder. Shoulder pads move around a little bit independently. Bicep swivel 90 degrees in the elbow. Of course, you have a rotation in the wrist. He does come with several different sets of hands. We'll get there in a second. That torso movement. I do like the driver. I think they did a nice job with the driver there. Kick out to the side. Kick forward. Not so much to the back. You don't have a thigh cut, but you have a little bit of movement there because of how the ball joint is there on the hip. A little bit over 90 degrees in the knee, and then of course a ball joint in the ankles. So overall, I think he looks pretty good. The color scheme of the black and the gold, I think, really works, of course. And then you have that little bit of like, you know, maroon or burgundy there for the visor. And I do kind of like the clock hands on his back. I think that's kind of neat. I just don't really like the sash. I don't know how you'd fix it. I feel like you probably could hook it on the back somehow, or even if they gave the option, like maybe they put a peg hole on here or something. Or he's even got this peg hole right here on his butt. If they would have just given you like a small peg so that you could peg it in if you wanted to, but then you could just unpeg it if you wanted to move it around, just to give you the option to make it a little bit more stable, because I just kind of feel like it gets in the way. And it puffs up on the top like this, so that it almost like hangs up here like that, and I don't like that. I want it to stay down there. And that's why if I could just like peg it in here like that, I think that'd be great. But unfortunately, not the case. But again, getting to those extra sets of hands that he comes with. So he's got 2 extra sets of hands, but I gotta be honest, they're not super impressive. So you can kind of see here, he's just got kind of standard like grabbing hands, but he doesn't come with any accessories. So I don't know why he would really need grabbing hands, but he's got this kind of like, getting ready to fire off an energy beam from Dragon Ball Z hand. Then he's got kind of this like, just gesturing while he's making a speech hand kind of a thing. A little bit more open hand. And again, so he's pretty much got a set of kind of what I'll call gesturing hands. And then he's got a set of like Dragon Ball Z Energy Blast hands. So I don't know. Okay, they're okay. I guess they didn't want to have any accessories to give him because Ohma doesn't use any weapons per se. So they just gave him a bunch of different hands. I mean, it's better than nothing, I guess. I personally don't need them, but I think it's a pretty decent representation of Ohma, I'll be honest. Obviously there's really no paint on the back, but the one thing the sash does is introduce a little bit of that gold to the back. Plus you have the hands on the back, so that breaks up the black coloring a little bit as well. From the front, I think he looks good. Like I said, the only nitpick I really have, I wish there was just a little peg on the underneath of this sash so that I could peg it in down here if I wanted to. Because I think if I could peg it in, I think then it would stay a little bit better. But I understand that, if they're worried about hindering articulation, then let me unpeg it, put him in whatever pose I want. But that way it would at least give me the option. But overall, it's not bad. It's not bad. I wonder if the Soto's better. I'm going to guess it probably is. But then again, with the stickering, I don't know. So eventually, when I get to opening that, I'll have to let you know. But in the meantime, I think this is a pretty decent figure. I don't remember exactly what it cost, but I'm sure it was probably somewhere in the area of like 15 to 20 before shipping. So for that, I think it's a pretty decent little figure. I think it did a nice job with Ohma. And if you want a nice version that you don't have to apply stickers to, then this one should be right up your alley. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.